Mike, I know you're probably used to this question after having so many great players come through your program and then get drafted in the NBA, but obviously Markelle Fultz, a little special, drafted #1 by the 76ers. He was a pretty unique player at DeMatha and had a great career there. Not your typical career in that he started late, got cut his 10th grade year, but obviously his junior and senior years were pretty special, and he's gone on to some much greater heights too. So tell us a little bit about Markelle during his experience in high school at DeMatha.
Well, first of all, he's a great young on the court and in the classroom. Definitely pale in comparison to just the type of young man he is. His mom and grandmother and sister and just his tight-knit circle has done a great job just raising him. As a basketball player, I mean, he's tremendous. It's the story everybody knows. He only played varsity for 2 years at DeMatha, but if you would compare his 2 years on our varsity team with all the other DeMatha greats, I don't know if anyone ever had a better 2-year stretch than he did. And, his work ethic, his passion for the game, his versatility, his ability to play multiple different positions, and just the fact that he was so impactful in terms of helping other guys raise the level of their game. That's the kind of player he is. He worked his rear end off in the classroom to be the best student he can be. I think just the attribute that I'm most impressed with about Markelle is just, his work ethic.
Coach Jones, just your thoughts on how close was he to the program even as he became a college player? Did he stay in touch with you? Did he come back? Was he a part of the scene at DeMatha even as he forged an outstanding college career?
He stayed in contact with his teammates, definitely. The ones that were in college, obviously, but, he has, he calls them his little brothers. He had, a couple of guys that were still on our team this past season that he had played with, that he stayed in constant contact with. And every now and then, sending an encouraging message that a big brother would do. He did a great job staying in contact with them. As far as myself and the other coaches, we kind of know the deal. Like, he went away to college, and we check up on him, but we try not to be, so like in their face all the time. So, and I'm sure they appreciate that. They got their parents checking up on them and things like that. But he'd get a message from us every now and then just to check in with him, see how he was doing. One of our coaches went out to see him. One of their games that they played this year way out in Seattle, and one of his favorite teachers at DeMatha also went out to see him out there. So he definitely stayed connected to the DeMatha community.
It looks like he's going to be ready to come right in, start right away as an NBA player and contribute to what seems to be a very good building team there in Philadelphia. Will he have the composure and the poise to handle the ups and downs? And what I mean, the press, it's a different deal than when you're playing on the other coast in the Pac-12. Philadelphia, very demanding town. Especially when you're the #1 pick in the draft, there's going to be an expectation level there. Will he be able to handle the ups and downs and, maybe taking a little criticism from the press or the fan base?
I think the best thing that I can answer that question with is anytime Markelle is criticized or anytime Markelle is told he can't do something, that just fuels him to prove you wrong. So I don't think he's going to have any problem. First of all, I think the Philadelphia community, you guys are going to embrace him just because of the type of young man he is. But, just like other areas that have rabid fan bases, and you guys are definitely up there, y'all want to win. Y'all want a winner on the court, and I definitely believe that Markelle's impact will help y'all do that sooner rather than later. The times that it gets rough, you're talking about a kid who's, everything hasn't been easy for him his whole life. Things haven't been given to him. So, I think those days are behind him. But when things get rough, it won't be the first time he's going through that. So I think he'll handle that just as well as he's handled anything, again, because that's the way he was raised.
We're speaking with Mike Jones, head basketball coach at DeMatha High School, former head coach of Markelle Fultz. I think one of the many great attributes of the Sixers selecting Markelle is that it looks like he's going to start off as a two guard, a shooting guard, playing a little bit off the ball. But Ben Simmons is going to be their point guard. He's never really done that, certainly not at this level after missing all of last year. So how comfortable would you be if Markelle has to handle the ball or they have to run the offense through him? Do you think he can make that adjustment?
Absolutely, and I agree with you. The fact that you are going to have two dynamic playmakers in Ben and Markelle, and the fact that they both can play with the ball in their hands, I think they're going to help each other out. Ben is going to be just such a dominant player because of his height, his strength, and his vision. But then Markelle being more of a true guard size, especially in the league, I think they're going to be able to play off each other. But if, for whatever reason, Markelle becomes the primary ball handler like 100% of the time, again, he's worked so hard for that moment. He's worked so hard for that responsibility. I don't think he'll have any trouble at all.